some danger in. I drove you once to a hypnosis show, and there's
There's no
people
danger.
doing all types of. Well, I mean, someone could trip.
Yeah, but you've got to be careful from. There's no mental danger like they go on about. The hypnotist has to be careful with the I don't know, the physical problems, like somebody could trip over a microphone wire, or somebody gets overexcited. So you have to. And also, before I invite anyone up on stage, I always say. There are three types of people. Now, what do I say? I tell them that if you suffer from epilepsy or heart trouble, you really don't want to be up here. Not because hypnosis brings on an attack, but because if an attack happens, the hypnotist gets blamed for it, and I don't want to get blamed for it, so I tell them that. I say, if you expectant mothers, I tell them not to.
What did you? What did you study? Did you study a book or?
I taught
materials?
myself because I am an unqualified genius. I'll tell you what.
That goes without saying.
Obviously, right. Say. No, I was serious. What happened? There's a legendary stage hypnotist in Ireland. Well, he's dead now. Paul Golden, who, strangely enough, I found out he was a friend of my uncle's. You know, he used to go around to my uncle's house and everything, and they both studied medicine together. You know, but anyway, Paul. Left the study of medicine, and he became a stage hypnotist, quite a controversial one. And
why was he controversial?
Oh, he was controversial. You have to read Paul Golden's book. He was controversial, very charismatic guy, wonderful showman, and marvelous at getting publicity. You know, but so he told me in Dublin. I met him in Ireland. He says. You should do stage hypnotism. You've got the chutzpah for it, which means nerve, you know.
Sure.
So I tried it. I studied it from a book, and I said to Paul, I said, "How do you practice a thing like that? You can't go out. They're paying you money. You go out on a stage. You've never done it before." He says, "You practice the tables and chairs at home." So I did it, and I thought I practiced the tables and chairs at home, but sooner or later you got to do it on live people, and I did that at the psychic fairs. And I learned how to do it there. And in the beginning, I had not very good results. But then, month after month, year after year, I got pretty good at it. And my stage hypnotism show is quite a strong one now. You've seen it?
Yes, I've seen it about 3 times, and two of the times the show was terrific.
What about the other time?
The other time was across the street with all those drunk lawyers and doctors.
Oh, drunk lawyers.
Remember?
Well, you told me, yeah. I came across the street and I came in here and I said, Jeff, I said they're all drunk and they're accountants and they're all Jewish. And you said, Jewish accountants? You said, you're going to die a complete death over there.
I warned you.
And then you came over, you saw me there.
Were you Marvin Lewis or Lewis?
Yeah, well, they introduced me anyway.
But that was you know what though, Mark? It was amazing. You did the show, and you got through it.
Yeah.
And you started off, as you still do, I believe, you
Yeah.
start off with magic tricks.
Yes.
And with that group, you started off with the 6-card repeat. And some of them started watching them. And you still do some magic at being able to hypnosis.
I believe it helps. I believe
Yeah,
it
you like...
helps. Well, it's not for a number of reasons. I will do magic at the big, a little bit, you know, maybe 10 minutes, because it establishes prestige. They think, oh, he's good at these card tricks. You know, it helps you prestige as a hypnotist. It makes it easier to hypnotize them.
Okay.
Because the prestige.
Sure.
Also, I get somebody up from the audience to help me, right? And they see I'm treating that person with courtesy and dignity, and then when I ask for volunteers to come up to be hypnotized, they're less afraid to come up.
Sure.
They see me treating the person up on stage quite nicely.
One of the fascinating things in the book is that you've performed, sold magic, become a psychic, done psychic readings, all different parts of the world, many different countries.
Yeah, my life has been a waste of time when I think about it. Go on.
Well, a lot of our lives have been a waste of time. But you've led an interesting life, Mark.
Yes.
And
interesting to other people, not to me.
Do you know how many countries you've performed?
Oh,
how
performed
many
in, I think,
continents,
it's 5 countries, I think. Ireland, Britain, Holland, United States, Canada.
Mexico, I guess.
Yeah, Mexico, of course, I forgot about that. So, Germany, I performed in Germany. Yeah, I have worked in a few different places.
You were at also sometimes where the bombs were going off in
Ireland. Oh yes, that was. I never when I wrote the book, I never thought I'd be talking about that. But then I started on it, and then there's pages and pages filled up with bombs and bullets and troubles in Ireland, which I never actually expected to be writing about.
Sure.
And you said you found that quite very interesting.
I found it a lot of the book I found interesting or entertaining, but that book, that section of the book that I found the story was jumping off the page. I could really. You hadn't told me those stories,
I've not told you about
and I could
Ireland.
envision it, and it was quite.
All the bombs and
quite
the bullets. And I'm going up this hill. There's a riot going on. There's this little kid there, and he's got a bottle filled up with petrol. And I says, "What are you going to do?" That's a stupid question. I think about it. What are you going to do with that?
Yeah.
He said, "I'm going to go and kill some proddies with it, Protestants." And he's 12 years old. This kid, and he used to hang around the exhibition. And I said, "You could kill somebody with that." And he said, "That's the general idea. I'm going to kill some proddies." I said, "How would you like it?" I said, "If somebody threw set your mother on fire with that." And he said, "It depends on who started it." And the proddy started it. Then he looks at me suspiciously and aggressively, and he says, "Are you a Protestant or a Catholic?" I said, "I'm neither. I'm Jewish." So he says, "Are you a Catholic Jew or a Protestant Jew?" He says. I said, "Nothing." I said, "I'm a Jewish Jew." So he says, "Well, you go and fight for Jerusalem. I'm going to fight for free Derry." Derry was a city, so I remember him.
He's on top of things, that kid.
Yeah, he probably joined the IRA after that, or he might be in the present government of Northern Ireland for all I know. I don't know what happened to him.
The book is filled with stuff, and as we've mentioned, but magic is a lot in the book.
I
it's
am
a
a
part of life,
magician.
and that is also continues to be a hobby. Your hobby is, to a degree, you still study magic.
I always study magic.
Yeah.
I don't know whether it's a hobby or a profession or do many shows.
But you haven't lost your love for the hobby part.
I've lost my love for the magicians. I can't stand them. But I like them to buy the book. But
So since I've got you here,
Yeah.
we're obviously we're videoing this.
I devoted my life to magic.
Yeah. So
to magic.
okay. So since that's such a big part of
What
your
a
life,
waste of bloody
do you
time.
have?
I shouldn't have-
Can we get on?
I should never have got that book out of the library. Go on. What are you
I'd
saying?
like to get recorded. What do you think makes a good magician?
Oh, you asked me a serious question now. A good magician?
Yeah.
There aren't many.
Why, the other questions weren't serious?
I suppose they were.
Just because you didn't answer them in a serious way doesn't mean they weren't serious.
I suppose so. What makes a good magician? Personality, your character. It's not the tricks. Tricks don't matter a toss. Doesn't matter about the tricks. Doesn't matter. They all come in the shop. Oh, buying this trick, buying that. They think will make them good magicians. They'll be just as useless. After you sell them the rubbish even the wonderful tricks you sell them, they'll still be useless. Even if you sell the most marvelous trick, they haven't got that. They haven't got. They're not characters. They're not interesting. They're not. They've got the personalities of dial tones. You've got to present yourself. A good magician does not present magic. He presents himself doing magic, and that is the key to being a good magician. You've got to be technically good and use good tricks. I'm not saying you do bad tricks, but it's secondary. You're there to entertain, and the trick is merely a peg to hang your personality on. That's all it's there for.
So how do you?
And to make you money, of course. Go on.
Do you? And how would you suggest someone going about becoming a character?
Easy.
How?
It's not that easy. Well, it tells you you sell a book here called Expert Card Technique. It's all about difficult card tricks and stuff. But there's a wonderful section at the back of that book which tells you about presentation, and it explains it's like interest building in a bank. The more you live it, the more it grows on you. You see. I did not have any particular personality when I first started. I was just as boring as everybody else. But then I read that book. Luckily, I read that early, and I thought, you're supposed to be something. You're supposed to.
Magic is you, as Goshman.
That's right. He was a character.
For sure.
Yeah, that's right. All the great magicians, all of them, have been.
Who are your favorite great magicians? I know Don Allen.
Apart from Mark Lewis.
Apart from Mark Lewis,
right.
the close-up magicians.
Close up. I don't like any of them. Okay.
Alive or dead?
Let me think now.